20 minutes to 9 p.m. Wow, where the time goes by so fast, eh? Can you believe it? It's now time for Car Talk part number two. It's the final segment of Car Talk tonight. So we've had a chat with the AA's Leighton Beard in the first segment, and we were talking about hijackings, hotspots, things like that, the do's and don'ts, how to react in a certain scenario, how not to react, what to do, what not to do, kind of thing. Hoping it was of good benefit to one and all. And you can share your interaction with us. We're coming to you live from our headquarters in Johannesburg. We welcome our listeners and viewers on all the platforms of Salam Media, on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, as well as on the airwaves of Radio Al Ansar on 90.4 FM and 105.6 FM, respectively, wherever you are this evening. So, tonight we're talking about common causes of poor fuel economy. All right. Now, is poor fuel economy wreaking havoc on your budget, perhaps? When a full tank isn't taking you the distance that it used to, it's time to take a look at what is impacting your car's efficiency, right? Poor, so poor fuel economy could be a sign that your vehicle isn't running at its optimum best. You need to understand and establish what's the problem, right? Check what's the far rate, what is happening here. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to find the source of the problem. To talk to us now, but more, we welcome the expert when it comes to motor cars, a mechanic by trade, Abdurrehman Mia. Abdurrehman, assalamu alaikum. Goeie aand and welcome to the program tonight.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah for having me. Hope you are well.
Alhamdulillah, with the mercy and grace of the Almighty, the greatest. Alhamdulillah, we're in good spirits, anticipating spring. As the last time we had a chat, it was a very cold winter's Friday night. And you were at your humble abode, and Alhamdulillah, we were talking about the color of burning pipes. Tonight, we're talking about poor fuel economy. Now, poor fuel economy breaks down into different aspects, right? There are a number of, I'm sure, contributing factors, okay? And I'd like to highlight some of these and we can discuss them as we obviously go along. Now, poor fuel economy surely is a sign that the car is not running at the optimum level, right? Some factors which could influence a motor vehicle's fuel efficiency. Let's break these down. One could be a clogged air filter, I'd say, fuel injectors,
100%.
underinflated tires, a faulty spark plug, and the wrong type of oil. So take us through these ones. Let's talk about fuel injectors and defective fuel injectors.
You see, one must understand about the injector. Having bad fuel injectors can cause like very bad fuel economy because the fuel injectors are responsible for putting fuel into the engine. And obviously, if there's a leak of some sort, then less fuel will make its way into the engine, and then it will turn,
All right.
and the ratio between the fuel and air will not relate, and therefore the engine will end up using more fuel. So, as a result
Okay.
of fuel injectors, it can be the cause of your vehicle's poor fuel economy.
Now, on this point, right? Some people put injector cleaner instead of changing the injectors. How to, identify when it's time to change the injector as opposed to just pouring injector cleaner? I mean, surely there can be some sort of way to tell. It's a bit difficult. You have to physically be able to see the wear and tear and say, but how to identify? How do you know when it's the right time?
So, you'll have to first see, like you'll understand from your car, you'll see there can be a misfire. A misfire is caused by the fuel injectors of your car, and it depends
All
how
right.
bad it is. Like if your car has a very heavy idle, then you'll maybe need to recon the injectors. But if, for example, it just has like a slight misfire, then you can put fuel cleaner, injection cleaner, and then use it to clean it, and it should make a difference. But that's the first step because to take out the car's fuel injector, it can cost a lot of money just to remove and replace and recon the fuel injector. So The
Mm.
first step you do is to buy an additive you put into the fuel tank, and it actually filters out all those small particles that clog your fuel injectors.
Let's
So that's
talk cost-wise.
the thing.
Cost-wise, how much would the additive be to add in? Let's say somebody's watching and wondering, hey, you know what, brah? I've got a similar problem here. This all makes sense. Maybe I need to try an additive. How much are we
So
looking
the
at?
additive is not more than 200 rand. I use
All right,
myself
so
as
so the viewers and listeners should
yeah.
know that they mustn't get robbed, eh? Because I'm not quoting this price here. But anyway, plus
No,
minus,
no,
you're looking at an average price of around 200 bucks to add an additive to your car's tank. Okay, fine. So this
and
will
that's a
assist
very like
and flush out.
it's a it's a tested fuel injector cleaner. Like it's not one cheap one where you buy and then you just put it because it costs
Mm.
money and someone's trying to sell it. This is like a actually one product of the year. This type of fuel injector, and I would recommend if you think your car is having problems with fuel injectors, try it out. It should work. You can Google it, but remember the fuel injector you buy, the fuel injector cleaner that you buy for your car has to be like a certain approved product. It can't be like some cheap one where it's just like you buy it and it's like 50 rand and you think it's gonna clean your car and it ends up damaging your injectors more.
Now, surely, in addition to only fuel injectors, right? Maybe your air filter is clogged, right? And maybe the air filter and oxygen sensors, these ensure the ratio of fuel and
Yes.
air is going to the engine in the correct, um, I'd say, level or at its optimum performance, correct? So surely these play of this is a contributing factor.
Yes. Remember, a blocked air filter can cause 20% up to bed. It can reduce your fuel economy up to 20%. So remember that you can
Wow.
be going to the garage like every second day and you realizing like, oh, why is my fuel finishing? I just put 100 rand of petrol. I don't know why my fuel is, and then you
And in
open
the
up.
meantime, you're thinking about fuel injectors when it could be just a simple thing as
Yeah,
an air filter.
100%. And an air filter
Mm.
you can buy. It just depends on on your car. You can buy a good air filter. Well, on different cars, it can go from 200 rand up to 1,500 rand because some of the new cars, the air filters are in a housing, so it comes as a whole unit.
Yes,
So that
in a
can cost.
box,
But
correct. Yeah.
if the air filter is not so badly clogged and you just see like there's some dirt particles, you can like dust it out. I wouldn't say blow it because when you blow it, it's got small fibers on the filter that actually trap all those bad particles that go in the engine. And when you blow it, it gets rid of those fibers. So if you can just like a good smack on like a piece of wall and you see all the dust coming out, that should unclog it for like if you can't afford to buy a new air filter,
Yeah.
it should do the job. And also the air filters that get clogged, like sometimes you don't even know because you drive in and you can the ratio of the fuel is automatically wrong because the air is not getting the air is not going into the engine. So it could be a
Now,
main
talking about air, right? Since we are on the topic about air, I want to move the discussion to pressure on the tires. I mean, underinflated tire pressure. Um, if your tires maybe are underinflated, this could affect, we know one side it affects the car's traction, right? But on the other hand, this does affect fuel consumption, I would presume,
yes, of
because
course.
if a tire is not properly inflated, the consumption could perhaps increase or decrease.
Yes. One must understand anything that puts strain on your car, like overloading your car, like even can cause poor fuel economy because your car is
Mm,
using
mm.
more torque and more petrol to transport the vehicle. So one must see usually the tire pressure uh, specification is written at the back of your fuel tank or on some cars on the driver's door. You go to your
But now
garage,
here's
you
the thing, Abdurrahman. Right? Many people are like, ah, you know what? I'm just a 2.2 kind of guy. You know, right round zonke bonke 2.3 one time. You know what I'm saying? The
yeah.
guys do this.
Oh,
So it's like a norm. It's like a stigma. Okay, how much? You know. So how do you now draw the line here? I mean, surely there's got to be some substance to change this dynamic.
You
I mean,
look,
Owens are
yeah.
Owens, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, you just one is just that to find out the vehicle. It's so easy to go on Google and search your vehicle model and search what is the correct tire pressure for your vehicle, and you put it in, you type it in Google, and it will tell you exactly 2.6 at the
Mm.
back, 4.2 in the front. It will tell you for different cars with different tire pressures, and this can be a
I got
main.
a question for the listeners, and I want them to interact on 0617660355. Do you actually follow the air pressure specifications on your car on the door? Or are you just a Ahama 2.2 right round kind of guy? This is the question I'm asking the listeners, and I want to hear some of the feedback. Now, let's move the discussion to the other two topics that are contributing factors to or rather fuel consumption in a negative way, right? Poor fuel economy. Faulty spark plugs. We know obviously spark plugs in a car which aren't sparking correctly due to wear and tear, or they could be damaged. It makes that funny sound. That affects the whole combustion. People might wonder, okay, how's this whole combustion thing affecting my fuel? Talk to us about the result here.
The spark plug is the main factor of the combustion chamber. Like it ignites the
Mm,
fuel air ratio, which causes your engine to
okay.
turn. So obviously, if you have a faulty spark plug where the gap is closed, or you feel your car will not spark the fuel at the right pressure, and therefore you see that it will lose a lot of fuel actually. So having
Mm,
bad spark plugs can actually affect your fuel economy in like a negative way, like definitely. But the one can actually feel the problem if they see the car is having a misfire, and then you take out the spark plugs, you look at the spark plugs, you inspect it, and you see sometimes the gap is closed, or maybe you haven't replaced your spark plug in like 3 4 years, then you realize that you've been wasting money on petrol. But like as simple as
sure, I
that,
think that's
the
quite a
spark plug,
long time there. 3 4 years, sure.
yeah.
Maybe you're running Bosch Platinum. I don't know, but all right. Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
can be
yeah,
a
you mentioned some very important aspects here, and I think let's be bright sparks. Follow these tips here. Have a look at maybe alternatives like an additive into your car to check your fuel injectors, your air filter. Something so simple as an air filter could be affecting poor fuel economy. What were some of your and to the viewers and listeners, what are some of your reasons that you encountered poor fuel economy? Send through your comments. You can comment below or send through them your WhatsApps on 0617660355. Abdurrahman, Jazakallah khair for your time tonight, brother. We thank you for your time once again. Um, and yeah, until we have another chat again, though, have yourself a great weekend and salams to everyone. And keep well. And yeah, be a bright
Jazakallah
spark,
for
right?
having me.
Thank you.
Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum. That's Abdurrehman Mia, a motor mechanic. And yeah, we were talking about some of the common causes of poor fuel economy. And as you heard, some of them are fuel injectors, which are defective. You've heard about clogging air filters. You've heard from a mechanic yourself. Some could be an underinflated tire or even faulty spark plug, even the wrong oil. If you aren't using oil that reduces friction or the oil which is recommended by your manufacturer, you could be paying the price with poor fuel economy. And yeah, so that's a wrap of tonight's program. And Alhamdulillah, through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the greatest, Ya Mutakabbiru, Ya Allah, He is the one who has provided us the opportunity, giving me the platform to address one and all. Hoping we had a good week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a great weekend. It is the month of Muharram. Big days have dawned and passed us this last week. Alhamdulillah. Let's be cognizant. Let me myself be cognizant and understand the importance of this ni'mah that we have. Alhamdulillah, the beauty of Iman. Alhamdulillah, may Allah keep us and grant us steadfastness, grant us the istiqamah. With that, I say farewell to everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Have a great weekend. We'll be back Friday night. Inshallah, next week, same time, same place. And yeah, this is our jam-packed show coming up next week. So stay safe, adhere to the regulations, wear your masks, use the sanitizers, adhere to social distancing. In the background, I see my team embarking, ready to rock and roll as the show concludes. Yeah, and until we chat again, have yourself a wonderful evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Honestly, I don't know why you're complaining. The show was so good. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's your problem. I'm not feeling the energy. What do you want to feel? You want to play house music? The show was good. It was well crafted. I enjoyed
I
it.
actually would like that. I'll play.
I took to your voice. They're playing everyone Nation FM.